You're watching The Daily Rut, and I am Leo. So I'm going to be talking today on this vlog about Max and kind of how his backstory and how he came to be a part of our household and all that stuff. Everything with that, I don't know. Anyway, so I just kind of wanted to go over the beginning before he got here, I guess, before I get to that. And that is with a dog named Mitsy. Oh, hey, have you subscribed to the channel yet? You might want to hit that subscribe button so that you can get more videos like this. And if you like this, hit the like button. Thank you for watching. This little dog was a Yorkie. Anyway, she was a little doggy that my wife Olivia got from the nursing home because the elderly people couldn't have the dog, there, and the people that were going to take care of the dog were not going to take care of it. They actually wanted to get rid of the dog and put it down, so put it to sleep, in other words, kill it. So Olivia came home and asked me, well, because we already had Zini, so she was just like, well, do you think that we could have this dog and take it so they don't put it down? And I was like, well, yeah. So I never would let somebody put a dog down if I could willingly take it. And anyway, so she brought the dog home, and they called it Mitsy or whatever, and it was a sweet little dog. It was an old dog. She was pretty old. Anyway, hold up the picture again so you can kind of see it. Anyway, she was pretty old, and she just kind of was, just kind of lonely, because they just kept her in a house, and she really didn't get taken care of much. So she was kind of dirty. She had some, her hair was not, she just didn't look very healthy. So, what are you doing, huh? Anyway, so she basically just needed somebody to take care of her. So we brought her home, and Mitzi just instantly became like my dog. It was really weird. So I would walk, it was winter time, so I would go to take her outside to go to the bathroom, and she'd be like right in between my feet. She would just stay right in between my feet all the time, like she needed a protector. So it's kind of sad, like she felt lonely almost. But eventually she grew to know me, and she was like my dog. Like she literally became like my dog. Like she just loved me to death. And whatever, time passed. It was only maybe we only had her for 3 years before she got, we went on trips. We went across the country with her. She traveled all around. She got to go a lot of places. So it was kind of really nice she had a good life when she was with us. She gained a little bit of weight. She was doing well. She probably got to do whatever she wanted too much. She was spoiled. Much like this one. What's going on, huh? Anyway, so we ended up having her for 3 years, and eventually she got sick, and that was a horrible death that she went through in the middle of the night. She was literally just everything was going wrong. I'm not going to get into it. That was traumatic too. So anyway, she passed away. I buried her, and then everything, I was just so sad from all that. And Max is just going to keep looking around. Come here. What's the matter, huh? What's going on? Anyway, so it was a really sad story and everything. And I was really sad about I felt heartbroken because I actually loved that dog so much. Like she was like a person to me. So I prayed to God, and I don't know, you guys might not be Christians, whatever. I don't care what you think. But anyway, so I asked him to basically give me another dog like Mitzi because I just couldn't deal with the heartbreak of Mitzi being gone. And it was just so disturbing to me. I was so emotional. I couldn't believe it. So anyway, I decided I was going to, by my own force, kind of go online and start searching for dogs myself. And I started searching, and this was around the time that COVID was still kind of going, even though it should have been ended at that point because everything was kind of normal. Anyway, but the dog places that sold dogs were always selling dogs like that for $3,000, $4,000. It was insane, the prices they wanted. And also, you couldn't get into these places. You had to make appointments because for some reason COVID was really bad inside like little dog shops that are selling dogs for some reason. I don't understand how that works. So you couldn't actually enter the building. You could only look at the dogs from outside of the mall, even though people are walking around without masks. It's insane. So, Max, come here. What's going on? So now you want to get down now? Come here. Okay, get down. All right. So anyway, what happened is they didn't have dogs. The dogs were too expensive, so I just kind of was like depressed and kind of let down by that. And then what happened was, somehow, now keep in mind, this is within 2 weeks of me praying and asking God to replace this dog that was breaking my heart that she was gone, you know. So then somebody at one of Olivia's friends at her work said, well, this woman has this Shih Tzu and she's looking to get rid of him. And he's like a year old. And I'm like, what? And it has papers even. So I was like, people don't get rid of Shih Tzus. They're expensive dogs and they don't just get rid of them like that. So anyway, Olivia said, well, we should go check on it anyway. So we were going to meet the woman at her work because Olivia was going to work at the time, at the nursing home anyway. And so we met this woman. She brings this dog out, and it's just the nicest little dog. There's nothing wrong with this dog, and turned out to be Max. So then we got Max, and Olivia had to go to work that day, so I dropped Olivia off, and then I took Max and I had to go do some errands and stuff and go to the stores. So he was staying in the van. He was all scared and nervous, and I don't think he rode in a vehicle really before. So all that stuff was going on. And then he was just nervous and everything. And eventually when I got in the van and we were going to go home, he just sat right next to me like a little person. And I had to put my arm around him, like just kind of hold him, because he was just nervous and he was scared. But he let me, and he liked me. It seemed like he was kind of like clinging to me because he didn't have anybody or something. And at the time they called him Cruiser. I don't know who names their dog Cruiser. It just was a terrible name. And I guess they named Max after the name. The name came from the PT Cruiser, the vehicle, which I don't even think that's a very good vehicle to really name your dog after. But whatever, anyway. So I knew I was going to change his name when I got home. I'm not calling him Cruiser. It didn't match his character. Anyway, so I got him home and I set him down, and Zini and Max, because they said they wanted to get rid of him because he wasn't getting along with other dogs, which that's questionable at this point now. So I get him home and I set him down, and Zini growls at him, and I'm like, oh, I guess that's what's really going to happen here. But he's a male and Zini's a female. So it's not like there's this tension or whatever like that. I don't understand what their tension was at the beginning. But it was like 5 minutes, we had this growling contest. Like Zini was growling, she didn't like it or whatever. Because Mitsy was a female, so maybe, I don't know. But Mitsy was the boss over Zini. The littlest dog was like the boss. And she would like try to bite Zini and tell her what, Zini would have to back off because Mitsy was so powerful and strong, it seemed like. But anyway, so they growled for like 5 minutes, and then what happened was they just kind of relaxed and chilled out. And then they started playing with each other. And this is within the first 10, 20 minutes of them being in the same house together. And then I had them go in the back or whatever. And they went into the bedroom, and they were just sitting on the bed together and all this stuff. And it was like nothing, no problem. And so that's kind of how Max ended up becoming part of the household. And how he got his name was, Olivia always called Mitsy. She always said, Mitsy Max, come on, Mitsy Max. She'd say that. And then that was kind of like an extra name that she gave anyway. So I ended up calling him Max because after Mitsy would come the word Max. So we kind of put that together, and I called him Max. He got used to it within a couple days. Everything was good. And then that became the story of Max. So that's kind of how he came into our house, how he became, here. But he was a blessing from God, though, because he came at a time when I was like really emotional after Mitzi passed away. So then I got Max, and now it just worked out perfectly. And it's like instantly I got Max, and he's an expensive dog. You can't buy a Shih Tzu like that that's a full breed with papers. So that's just amazing that happened. So that was like my blessing that God replaced Mitsy with Max, so my heart wasn't broken completely. So I had something to take the place of Mitsy, so I wasn't suffering, you know, from the pain of loss because of this beautiful little dog that I love so much, you know. So anyway, that's the story of Max. I just figured I'd do a short video talking about that. I would have him up here, but he decided he wants to go over there and sit on the couch. But anyway, so tell me what you think about this story in the comment section. Tell me if you think it's a miracle or if it's just coincidence, but I'm pretty sure it was a miracle from God, because I think that he kind of replaced the loss of Mitsy with Max, honestly. Because heartbreak he doesn't like. He doesn't want to see us suffer. He wants us to feel better and happy. And I think that he did that on purpose, because Mitsy was very hard. It was hard for me to watch her when she was suffering. I had to deal with her literally through her sickness and death in the whole night. It was just torturous for me because Olivia was trying to sleep because she had to work. And I had to just sit there with her, and I just kind of had to go through this horrible, watching her like having problems, like having these breathing issues, and then she was puking, and then she had like she was having liquid poop coming out. It was just, and there was blood, and there's so many things going on, and it was just like she just was everything was deteriorating so quickly that there was nothing we could do. And I buried her the next day. I even made a little casket for her, and I buried her. Anyway, so just tell me what you think about this in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about the miracle aspect and all these different things about Mitsy, about Max, all that stuff. Tell me what you think in the comment section below, and thank you for watching. Thank you for watching The Daily Rut. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy this vlog.